What's up, fight fans? This is Kurt DeVille with Counterpunched Boxing News, and I have some new news concerning Malik Scott. Get this. Malik Scott believes that Jared Ennis stops Keith Thurman. Jared Boots Ennis has begged and pleaded with the rest of the upper echelon of welterweight division to step foot inside the ring against him. Yet, despite calling out likes of Errol Spence, Terrence Crawford, neither have paid the Philadelphia native much attention as they continue to negotiate an undisputed showdown for later this year. Although Ennis is 29-0 with 27 KOs, no losses, no draws, would love nothing more to begin his own championship run. The 25-year-old isn't interested in waiting idly by while Crawford and Spence battle it for the welterweight supremacy. Considering his lawfully standing, Ennis now has turned his attention to the former unified champion, Keith Thurman. The Clearwater, Florida product has shown very little interest in fighting Ennis, but he has warned Ennis to stray away from his attempts to antagonize him. He says, and this is what Malik Scott says, I think right now Boots stops Keith Thurman, said Scott to a group of reporters, and Keith Thurman is beyond a good fighter. Thurman, 33, has struggled in inactivity throughout the later stages of his career. Since coming off a short loss against Manny Pacquiao in July of 2019, the former unified champion remained out of the ring for approximately 2.5 years as he battled injuries. He said, when I give my opinion on Keith Thurman, I respect you, bro. You've done many or way more things than me and so many others. My opinion is strictly from the craft standpoint. I believe Boots Ennis stops you, and in the second half of the fight, it's not because Keith Thurman is a bad fighter. It's just that that's how good Boots is to me. Let me counterpunch. Everyone knows that Keith Thurman's body is like Dillian White's uppercutted chin. He is a very vulnerable person to his body. We know Boots Ennis rocks the body hard. What could this mean? This could mean exactly what I said and how it'll play out. He could hit Keith Thurman and drop him and stop him, not from taking headshots, but from taking a decently well-placed punch to the liver. Okay? Now, that could also work against Boots Ennis because a lot of times when you are hungry, young, he's 25 years old, he wants to make a statement, he wants to make a big statement. You know, you try to overcommit and you try to do something too much, too fast, too early. And that's due to inexperience. And what he could do is try to go to Keith Thurman's body, and Keith Thurman catches and shoots him and catches him with a right uppercut and something that he never been hit with someone that knows how to punch, with someone that has been there with Manny Pacquiao and Keith Thurman and Sean Porter and these guys. So, you know, it could work against him if he's not prepared. Not saying that he's not good. Jared Boots Ennis is very good, but he's very good compared to whom? Okay, and I know it is such an aggravating thought that these young fighters want this opportunity to fight these guys that are up there or were there or still there or wherever there, and they don't get the opportunity due to promotion, due to politics, due to whatever. And it does drive you crazy. It's enough to snatch the hair out of your head, right? Because Keith Thurman was there once upon a time when he wanted to fight Mayweather, and Mayweather didn't want to fight him, and he made every excuse in the world, but he fought Andre Berto that had 4 losses. Counterpunch. So I do understand the frustration of these young fighters. But unfortunately, you know, this is the sport that I love, that I hate so much for that reason, simply because you're not going to always get what you want, and you're not going to get what you deserve. And I think he deserves a fight with Keith Thurman. Sean Porter's done, right? He's retired, you know, but like Danny Garcia's at 154 because they didn't want that smoke by another Philly native. They didn't want that. A bigger, stronger Jared Ennis. They didn't know. You know, they're smart. Like, the Garcias is smarter than that. They went to 154 because they know they can hang around there long enough to have a potential fight with somebody that's either over the hill or somebody beatable or both. So it's not really much that Jared Ennis could do. And then, of course, Terrence Crawford and Errol Spence, those guys are trying to figure something out. We hope it figures out quickly because I at least want to know what the verdict is. But I agree with Malik Scott that could happen. But, keep in mind what I mentioned before, because Keith Thurman, is an experienced fighter. And I don't think Jared Ennis has been in there as of yet with a fighter with that type of experience. That could convey, that could produce a type of upset or unexpected knockout from Keith Thurman, and that defines his whole career if Jared Ennis tries to commit too much to a place where he knows to go too quickly. But anyway, you guys tell me what you think of Malik Scott thinking that Jared Boots Ennis stops Keith Thurman in the second part of their fight. Of course, please subscribe, and you guys been Counterpunched. Peace!